Big week, big 3 weeks, I guess, if you include the bye week, but the end is nearing. Whether that means there's another game after that or not, or multiple games, I guess, but there's just 2 regular season games left.
Yeah, it goes fast. It seems like the season just started yesterday with this group of great young men that we have, and it flies. And you start looking back like, man, there's a couple of games there, here and there. If we just could have got, a few extra plays our way, we win those ball games. And we're still in a good situation. I feel like just need to win these next 2 ball games and let the committee decide. And hopefully, if we win these 2, we can get into a bowl game or something. But we just got to focus on this week against Emporia, who's a very, very good football team, who's ranked nationally again. Another team in our conference ranked nationally. That's very good, very sound offensively and defensively. So, it's amazing how fast it goes, because it seems like it takes forever to get here, and then once it's here, it goes by too fast. But these group of men did a great job, and hopefully we get to keep playing.
Is it hard not to look back at a couple of the games and say, what if?
Always, right? The Northwest one's a big one. We come out and take the lead, and then the Pitt State's a big one as well. Central, just took it to us and played really, really well against us, in that game. But I think there's a couple of breaks in those other games. We might win those ball games, and I think we just got smacked in the mouth against Northwest, and a little bit after we took the lead, and then didn't know how to respond. And then the Pitt game it's the Pitt game. A couple plays here and there that you take those away. We win that game. So there's a lot of what ifs, but I think that's the game of football, and that's also the kind of game of life, what if. So we got to make sure that we don't have any what ifs, these next 3 weeks with only 2 games to play.
Last week we talked about the challenge of playing Pitt, that game, and then trying to stay focused for a 1-win team. Were you pleased with how your team went about it? Appeared to by the results on the field.
Saturday I wasn't. Right, I wasn't really pleased Saturday, but I think I was just in a grouchy mood because after going back and watching the film and watching our guys' performance, I thought we played pretty well. I thought we played more physical than I thought we did. Made some really nice plays offensively, made some really nice plays defensively as well. I think it was just that span right before the half where we didn't get the points, and then we gave up points. That really kind of set me off and made me feel like we didn't play very well. But I have high expectations for these guys, and I don't think they would want it any other way than have high expectations for them and expect them to do things right all the single time and play hard, all the single time as well. So, but yeah, I really thought we played pretty well, last week, across the board through all special teams. Even I thought our special teams, except for the one missed field goal, played really well. So, we just need to continue to get better this week and really correct some of just the little mistakes, and it's nothing that there's big major mistakes, just the little things, and play a little bit harder, play a little bit more physical than we did, last week, because this week's going to be a big challenge for us with what Emporia does offensively, with the high tempo and all the amount of different formations that they're going to give you and the motions, and then defensively with all different looks as well. So, we're really going to put a lot of time and effort into watching film and studying, and these guys studying together, not just on their own, but actually sitting down in their room, going through the film and talking through situations and talking through scenarios and talking through plays to make sure that we're all on the same page when it comes Saturday.
Yeah, when you're going up against a team that does all that motion, all the different looks on both offense and defense, do you find tendencies that you go, okay, well, against teams like us, they tend to do this a little bit more, or are they just, no matter what, against everybody, they're throwing everything into the game plan?
I think they just come out and throw formations at you and just kind of see how you adjust. They always do a couple extra formations each game, so of course they'll only do them 2 or 3 times, but you have to prepare for those 2 or 3 things that they do each game, through the practice week just to get prepared. And so, I know we got to know where number 3 is at. I know that for sure, right? He's a tremendous player. The Raider tight ends are great players. Really got multiple wide receivers that are really good. The offensive line does a good job of protection, but they get the ball out so quick, it's hard to get pressure on the quarterback. So we're going to have to find ways to really lock up early with the receivers and take away the first read and make them hold it a little bit. So that's kind of the game plan. I don't know if that game plan will work, but I think that's the best way to kind of defend these guys. But you also don't want to give your guys too much to focus on as well, because now they're not playing the majority of the game, what they're going to be in with trips and doubles and things like that. So, we want to show them the things that we need to show them, but, we've got to be prepared for anything when we step on that field.
the tempo they run, how does that compare to maybe UCO, who's a very up-tempo team, and what do you do this week to prepare to get used to that? Because it seems like they are really, really fast.
It's just, having one offensive line, giving them a call, is what we'll do. We'll have like 3 different sets of receivers and backs, and they'll just run play after play after play, against us. Now, we won't do that the entire practice, but, there'll be situations where we do that, during practice this week. We'll have a couple sessions today, and then probably on Wednesday we'll do 3 sessions of it, and then by Thursday, we'll probably have, 3 or 4 sessions of it just to get used to that tempo. And a lot of it's just getting lined up. Sometimes it's not even lining up and running plays. It's just lining up to formations and making sure we're making the right calls and getting the right adjustments. So, that's what we're doing again this week, like we did against Central Missouri and UCO. But they're a little bit quicker because the chains aren't even set yet. When these guys are getting ready to snap the ball, so our guys are going to be alert and be ready. And we're trying to keep it simple enough they can just get into the call and be ready to play.
Gunner Gundy was obviously a pretty high profile get for them late in the summer. Just, what impresses you about his play with these guys?
Just as, able to make decisions very quickly and knowing exactly where he wants to go, with the ball before the ball is even snapped. You can tell he already knows what he's going to do. And then if it's not there, his ability to look to the backside and make plays, and then if that's not there as well, as his ability to run and scramble and make things happen. So he just gets rid of the ball so quick, and his decision making so quick as well. And he's very accurate with his throws, and he doesn't miss many. And he always puts it where it needs to be put. You never see it behind the receiver, too far out in front. It's always right on the money where it needs to be. So. Our D-linemen did a good job if they're not getting pressure, of getting their hands up and trying to get some deflections, but he's a tremendous football player.
This is a unique week as well because there's a bye week coming up, and it's something that y'all haven't had to deal with much. Any concern about players looking ahead to a break during this week at all?
I'll make sure today when we practice that they're not looking ahead, right? And because there's still a lot to play for, and there's still, we still have a very, very good season. You look ahead. Those things that we're playing for can go away pretty quick. So, don't look forward to the week off. Look forward to the opportunity you have in front of you right now, and it's to go play this very, this team that's very, very good, and an opportunity for us to really show what we're made of and who we are. And then we'll worry about the bye week, and then give us an extra day to prepare for Carney as well. So, and it's also an opportunity, for us on the bye week is to get our kids better, get our kids better, get them a lot of reps and get them in tune with what we're doing. Offensively and defensively, again, besides just being scouts, but I hope they're not looking ahead because, these next 2 games are very important, and it's what you do these next 3 weeks that's going to make all the difference, in what the rest of our season looks like.
What are the challenges for Caleb and really the whole offense? Because Emporia, 23 takeaways this year. A lot of interceptions. Just what makes them so good in that area, and what you guys have to be on the safeguard for, I guess?
Just they're all different looks that they're giving you, whether it's a 3-man front, which they play mainly, but just where they're bringing pressure from all the time, where they're bringing the pressure from and where they're sinking to, and just the multiple coverages that they give you. They'll give you cover 3 look, and all of a sudden it's cover 2, and just all the different little things that they do to you, defensively in the secondary with rotations and things like that. So it's just making sure we see the rotation, understand the rotation, our offensive line being able to figure out who's coming, who's not coming on the blitzes as well. And they do kind of give some things away. We just got to make sure that our guys understand those things that they're giving away and be ready to attack it. So, and being able to establish the run game, I think, is a big part, of this game as well. And controlling the clock offensively is going to be big for us to keep their offense off the field. But, I just think the more film our kids watch together, the wide receivers, with our quarterbacks and the O-line and the running backs, watching their blitz packages and being able to pick up protections and things like that is going to be very important this week for us. So hopefully they put in the time needed to shore all those things up, and hopefully we can make some big plays out there and get some things done.
Who's on the other side of your road trips certainly plays a role sometimes into your record on the road, but you haven't won a road game yet this year. Is there anything that needs to change this week or on the road trip in preparation for a road game?
We're trying, and we're going to do some more things this week to hopefully, make up for that. We're going to leave a little bit later than we normally do because we usually have a little bit more time before we get into meetings and things like that. So we're kind of taking an hour more time away from them just to hang out, and it's just going to be, mainly just football, once we get on the bus and get on the road. So, but you got to look at the teams we've been playing on the road as well. I mean, had we played Pitt State, who was ranked, I think, 7 or 8 in the country, or 12 in the country at that time, 7th. UCO, who was highly ranked at that time as well. Northwest, that just came off of 2 big losses that we know was very strong and very competitive. We're not going to lose, another game and go 0-3. So, our competition is part of that as well. But, we still need to play better, and that's something I really handled on our kids yesterday. Is we need to find a way to go on the road and win a ball game, and that's our next 2 games. Both on the road. We've got to go find ways to win these games. So you guys got to do whatever you can to possibly make this happen. So whatever we were doing before, we got to change it and make it better.
Rivalry games are always, they're rivalry games. How important is a game like this in recruiting? I'm sure you guys are looking at a lot of the same kids, and does the outcome have a big factor in that ever, do you think?
I think it has a little bit of a factor into it. It's also the kids, it's where they feel more at home than anything else, and sometimes location, helps as well, and it's just where they fit better, so, but we will be recruiting a lot of the same kids, from Kansas, from Texas, from Oklahoma, across the board. So, being able to go in there and beat them will help us, a little bit on the recruiting trail, but sometimes it just comes down to, a lot of kids, it's how much money do they get, and, where they feel most comfortable. So, and, it is, recruiting's big, especially in the state of Kansas with all the different schools that we have in the state of Kansas, whether it's Division I, Division II, or even the junior college levels and the NAIA level schools. I mean, there's a ton of us, and so, there's not that many kids in the state of Kansas that can go across every team in this conference, because it's spread thin. There's some talent in Kansas, but there's so many people recruiting them. It's hard to get in. You got to spend a lot of money on them. So if we don't get the Kansas kids, we got to find places to get them.
You and Coach Higgins very close, because you kind of become the elder statesman in the MIAA coaching ranks here all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think Sherrick's the oldest, and then I think it goes Higgins, and then me. That's golly, I can't believe I'm kind of up there in that rank. But no, Higgins and I are really close. We have a good relationship. Saturday we will not, but outside of that, we are a close group, and are a close, got a close relationship, and we talk quite often, and just going through different things, with whether it's changing the game of football, or something that's going on in our conference, or the portal stuff, or whatever it might be, and trying to make things better, just for Division II football and for our conference as well.